Colin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Reason I asked you on the podcast, we had caught up at a couple of events, really good connection, collaboration sort of stuff on the cards. But what I wanted to get you in for was to talk a bit about your story. What makes you tick? You've brought a company up in the same environment I have here in Scotland, so there'll be a lot of kind of similar challenges and a couple of opportunities maybe. So yeah, we just want to jump into it.
I think so, aye. It's interesting because I was talking about this on the way in. I don't think we are genuinely as cool as you, but then we're called quite cool in Stellar side, so I've seen all the graffiti and the art here is actually super cool. So, but yeah, I think we'll have a similar story about where we've kind of come from and got to and the similar challenges around the UK and Scotland, so
yeah.
Buzzing.
No, I like that you think we're cool. Like, I'm the least cool guy. I'm a database developer back in the day, so like, data is really hard to make cool.
Well, people ask me that, like, why are you so cool, Colin? And nah, they don't actually. Nobody's ever asked me that. So where do you want to start then? We start with the kind of like, where did I come from, go to?
Let's go the other way around. What are you doing just now?
Right now?
What's ticking your boxes? What are you excited about? What are you concerned about?
We've got a lot going on. It's hard to describe actually how many things we've got going on just now, but around our kind of services business, which is the core of Stellar, we've spent the last 3, maybe 4 years looking at how we diversify, how we build into public sector. We've been purely private sector all the way through the Stellar journey, and a big part of the kind of desire and ambition for us is to then become a real force to be reckoned with in the public sector. It's completely new to us, or it was completely new to us. We went through a huge learning curve, but our majority of the time has been spent just now is all around how do we support the public sector in a more strategic way. And more recently we've just had our great announcement that we've won our first 5-year deal with HMRC to deliver testing services, so massive for us, double some of our testing capabilities overnight. Wow. And hugely kind of beneficial for us and for the public sector services. So first one, we've actually had a proper fight with some of the big boys.
Yeah,
I'll call them big boys and girls, and it's been an opportunity for us to then really change Stellar for the better and give us that kind of stronghold in the public sector space.
And was there a slight concern when in HMRC?
Hopefully you've ignored my previous history. No, we've managed to win it on merit and a lot of the kind of the testing desires we've got predominantly around how we make everything more efficient in the testing space, how we really challenge the level of quality that you can get in some of the big SIs. So yeah, I'm buzzing about that, and quickly followed by a smaller piece with NHS as well. So it's been a tremendous kind of journey in the last couple of months to get there. So that's taken up a good bit of time. Yeah. We've then got all the cool stuff going on in our product space. I could probably talk all day about product. It kills me both personally.
Before we jump into that, because this is an interesting one, I think it's a good example of, I'm not saying you're small, but punch above your weight against the kind of the major industry players trying to get the kind of public projects. And it's a good example of what I think makes you successful in business, where I'm sure at the start of that process, you didn't know how to win government tenders of multi-million, multi-years. No. But what was your approach to it?
We started with a belief that we knew what we were talking about. And in our subject matter in our field, we do. And I'm confident we could have an argument with anyone and win. The difference with public sector was more around answering the right question at the right time with the right approach. And that's been our biggest learning curve. So we actually have brought a number of people through the organisation that have then supported us either externally or come in permanently to the Stellar organisation to then help us. And it's been a lot of infrastructural type things we've put in place. And it's helped then eventually get over that line with the first one. And I'm confident now that with the structure we've put in place that we can start to then go from strength to strength. But yeah, it's been tough. Like we went to our first presentation for a university in England, which who knew they were spending like £2 million a year on change stuff, and went in quite naive with the corporate big kind of program type structure, and we were really confident around winning this. Price point we really went aggressive on as well, and it turned out they actually didn't want the same what is kind of A grade type corporate change management. They wanted to just be really flexible and really kind of fleet of foot around the way that they drive projects and analysis, and that's how we lost it in the end. Wow. But even some of the simple things when we were turning up to talk, having a diverse kind of board of kind of panelists and having a kind of a real structure around the local kind of university community and how we could sympathise with some of the work that was going on in there. We were quite naive to all of that, so we've kind of adopted and adapted a a slightly different model. Because when Stellar, we were doing huge amounts in the community. When we do a huge amount in Edinburgh, huge amount in Scotland, huge amount for Maggie's. We do a lot with the kind of innovation centre, with our kind of grads and our apprentices, and we tick every box. But when it came to actual articulation of what we'd done, we just couldn't articulate it very well. So that was a lot of the infrastructure and investment we had to make in getting the answers right. And also I'm kind of buzzing to be working with yourselves on some of the public sector work as we go forward. We can really start to make a dent in some of the big SIs and some of the competitors in that space that have been, I'll say, had their way in that industry for too long.
Yeah, and there's tons of innovation and change happening there. There's a huge level playing field that if we can, and others like us across Scotland can kind of collaborate, we can punch way above our weight and make some change in the world. You see a lot of these projects going to slow moving dinosaur type companies, which is, I guess if you're the dinosaur, it's what you need to do and how you survive. But for us, it's like, how do you make a difference, right? How do you make it faster, better? I think that's why we're in business.
So a lot of people talk about that though. Like I've listened to some of the other providers of the services, and they all talk about the same stuff that we do. They all give it the same AI native kind of conversations and all this innovation. And when it comes to the crunch, they actually can do it.
Yeah, it's like, show me.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Show me what you've done.
When people say, I'm like, just come to the office, we'll spend like 2 days solid just talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's generally where between like ourselves and yourself, we can make a real dent in this. And I'm optimistic about how we can do that quickly as well.
Yeah.
I described the kind of the ever-changing environment just now with AI as a new starting line, and where some of the big outsourced companies are way ahead of us historically. I think they're all back on the same start line.
Yeah.
And that's the most pleasing and also then kind of energetic thing I've got going on just now.
It's like the start of the internet again.
.net again.
But, like, people are trying to throw millions into it. Hundreds, thousands of people are trying to solve a problem. It's like, well, actually, I think now with the technology we've got, it's smaller groups of highly specialised people empowered with AI to do this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we actually started Future Labs about a year ago.
Right.
So I was sitting there leading Clear Sky going, I don't know what we do is going to be what's going to be done in 3 years' time, maybe even shorter than that.
Yeah.
So we basically launched Future Labs division to go, right, how do we empower our devs and our designers or testers with AI, and how do we build enterprise level AI solutions? And it took us like a year to figure out like how to do it, because there's so much risk involved. You got even like from the testing point of view, like how do you test like an AI you've deployed to an enterprise class? The AI needs to test the AI, right? Because otherwise you can't, there's just so much to it. But a year of learning, but couldn't have other companies learned as fast as that? I don't know.
I don't think they can.
I don't think so.
I 100% agree with you. Every lesson we go through just now, so whether it's AI generated code with a huge amount of vulnerabilities because they're using the wrong versions of certain kind of open source tech, all of that stuff's lessons we've had to now absorb quickly. That I think puts us 3, 4, I'll say days, weeks, months, don't know, but it puts us ahead.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think, having started the same thing as Future Labs, the opportunity's really, really right.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Loads of conversation starters now. It's not really talking about, do you want some bespoke tech?
Yeah,
so it's like tech enablement through AI.
We had, sorry to cut you across you, but we had a similar conversation last week though, and listen to this is a belter. So Anne Budge has recently joined us to do a bit of support work and kind of help us with a bit of purpose around some of our kind of maturing pains that we've got. And she'd done a Women in Tech conversation when we were at the BGF office. And it was all about her journey over the last 55 years. And what I think we all lose sight of is that the modern day challenges are very, very similar to what you had historically as well. So the basics haven't changed. It's the amount of this evolution and consistency of some of the tooling and technology and the source of data we can get now. It's just phenomenal. Whereas Anne talked about in 1977, having worked at home, developing using punch cards on our kitchen table. And like, a lot of people in the modern day won't believe that.
Yeah.
But that was working at home as a female in technology, and as she called it, it wasn't called tech back then, it was called IT, and it was called development, not engineering, and then we went through all the kind of change and evolutions. So I actually think it's not even back to .NET and the changes that have taken place. It's right back to just the basics of computing.
I mean, I remember a wee boy, and one was a legal PA, and I remember she had the fastest in the West at like typewriting, right? That was our thing. And I remember being in the house, there was an old typewriter like lying about. And then all of a sudden she came home and they were like, we've got computers now to come and learn.
Yeah, it's wild.
But imagine it's similar now, right? There's an old world where things are going to be slower, and if you don't adapt, how long are you going to keep up? You can keep up now probably. Can you keep up in 6 months' time? I don't know. There's a really interesting question came up with my team. I was talking to them maybe last week, about 6 months ago. We were asking people in interviews, so talk to them about your experience with AI. And at the time, it was more like a auxiliary kind of question with that, just to get a bit of flavour. Now we ask it, and if they're saying, "Oh, we've not really had an interest in it," I looked at it like, "Oh, we can't work here." Like, if you don't have a passing interest in what's going on,
you've got to be involved in it now, haven't you?
Yeah, even if it's like even members of my family that have nothing to do with tech, they're using it for like interior design or like gardening. Like, it says that. But if you're hiring people with that mindset that aren't willing to learn, like, that's like terrible. Like, it's not going to be.
It's genuinely, the AI won't replace people. People with AI skills will replace the people without AI skills. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
And you see that every day. If you're not learning a skill every day in AI, then you're probably not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I actually talked to this, and this could be one for a kind of wee joint venture between us. I sat down with the netball board in Scotland a couple of Sundays ago. I mean, who runs a board on a Sunday morning? But apologies, Netball Scotland. I was kind of given a basics in AI around kind of what they could use it for internally, and it's things like transcription of meetings and then turn it into tangible actions that can then be used without somebody writing them up. It was going all the way to then how to use it for player performance and kind of Commonwealth Games coming up, how can you use it as an advantage against some of your opposition. The video technology is so advanced nowadays, and we see it in football, we see it in some of the kind of higher commercial sports, but how could we leverage it easily in something like that? And it was really, really revealing that learning, it was about an hour session, learning so much in an hour around the AI actually benefited every single person in the room. Mm-hmm. So we've got this kind of piece at Stellar, which is about 10 minutes every morning. I mean, how much time do you waste on your phone scrolling Instagram or scrolling TikTok or whatever else? If you've done 10 minutes of AI training every morning, you will be naturally better than everyone else. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that when I get the time at some point in my life, I'm going to actually just kind of throw a couple of hours of effort at it and make that a stellar thing that we do now. Yeah. And make it a real 10 minutes of learning every single day, and the basics, just some of the basics. Because it's evolving that fast, there'll be things that you just need to keep current as well. Yeah, especially for the stuff that we'll build and test and that sort of thing. I've got an idea like testing the team, like who's actually using it though, because I don't know, with your teams, measuring productivity is quite difficult. You can't, there's no easy way. It's like, you don't want to boil the ocean, but you want everyone to be empowered with like these new tools, but use them in a safe way, obviously. I find that quite hard to get across to the team early on. But we were talking about this in our sales structure though, so we use a kind of simple Kanban structure for some of our sales stuff. I'm not entertained by CRM tools now. I'm not entertained by all these wacky tools that people try to sell me. Basic Kanban structure, really simple. Go from left to right. Does everyone have a HubSpot subscription that they don't use? I tell you what, it's wild. Even just, and I'm not slagging anybody off here, people in the Stellar organisation will know exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody asked me the other day, how'd you copy a transcription? Because but you forget, it's not appealing to some people. Yeah. Like if you manage teams of people, it's maybe not your natural kind of skill to look at some of the tech that's used. Yeah. Whereas I'm quite geeky. I'm like quite involved in the use of this stuff, and again, it's only ever going to be as good as the adoption of the person that's using it, though. Yeah. If you don't know, it's back to the kind of all the gear and no idea chat, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of all the gear and absolutely no idea what you're doing. Some people say I probably do. Yeah. Sometimes running a business feels a bit like that. Cool. Let's go on a few other things. So getting to know the person. Are you from Biggar? Biggar, right? London's big, but Biggar's bigger. I always claim as well, by the way, that people in Biggar work harder than anybody else. So it's not to offend anybody, it's just to say that actually farming background and the kind of like the rural areas, people had a higher hunger rate than anyone else, and we brought a number of people through the ranks at Stellar and also into other careers in Royal Bank and kind of different places based on the fact that they came from Biggar. So one of the highest recruitment rates, I think, per head in Biggar. Oh wow! Based in tech. That's incredible, eh? So that kind of beginning. How did you end up being where you are now, running a multi-million-pound company, going like hell? Where does that come? Where's the contrast? Like when you started there, is that something you always wanted to do? You want to be a business guy, or I don't know actually. I get asked this quite a lot. I'm not sure I ever wanted to be a business guy or wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I still don't even call myself by any of those names. I'm just like a guy who wants to work hard and do really well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just the star in the sky that I look for all the time is like how do you continue to be successful in whatever you do, regardless of how big or how small it is. And when I started out from Biggar, I left school at 16. I was like out of school when I was reading my report cards at Christmas because I was throwing loads of rubbish out, and I found my S1 report card, which was really quite good. And then the further through school I got, the worse it got. And it was like under homework, it was like rarely completed. And it's like my interest just wasn't academic, and my interest wasn't in kind of becoming a lawyer or a dentist or a doctor or anything like structured. But I actually didn't know what I wanted to be. I had no idea. I'd done a little bit of kind of mechanic work before. I'd done a little bit of like labouring. I'd done a little bit of joinery. And I actually went to Motherwell College one day to do a course to become a Mercedes. At the time they were calling them Mercedes engineers rather than mechanics, which was a bit strange. And I remember leaving that going, I just don't want to be here. And I was given an opportunity at kind of 17 to then join Royal Bank as a junior test analyst. And at that time I didn't know much about computing other than how to switch them on. Didn't know much about mortgages, which is the platform I was working on. But I learned it all on the go, and something that's always stuck with me is that mentality to learn your subject, to learn what you're doing, and really kind of have again, it's back to that hunger thing. I'm hungrier to understand how things work than the next person. And then that then naturally turns a bit competitive around, I want to be the best junior test analyst that there is in the bank, I want to be the best in analyst, I want to be the best in kind of technical architect, I want to be the best project manager, you want to be the best at everything. And that's just a mentality and a behaviour rather than anything else. And strangely, I was talking about it on Saturday because the football Sir Alex was there.
Yeah.
And one of the parts that sits with me, and it's probably my best quote that I always remember, it's about the nobody comes chapping your door and hands you money.
Yeah.
You got to go there and work for it. You got to work hard, and there's good things come from working hard. And it genuinely sits with me every single day. And I try actually to talk to my family about it. I talk to my son about it all the time. Like, it's just the only skill that you can choose how good you are at is just working hard. And whether it's working hard at sport, whether it's working hard in the office, you choose how hard you want to work.
Yeah. And is that something you're pushing towards? Is that something you're pulling away from? Like, what's that drive? Like, where did you get that from?
I think it's, where did I get it from? Yeah, it's a good question actually. So I'd probably get it through my roots and through my kind of family, because we didn't grow up with very much. It was like a pretty humble beginnings. Like lived in a caravan for a number of years when we were growing up. Lived then in a kind of very simple structure where you didn't have like the amazing new toys that your kind of pals had and everything else. So it's maybe a bit of a hunger to then do better for yourself and maybe not find yourself in the same position that you were as a kid. But I wouldn't ever be looking for sympathy, and it was nothing wrong. It was just, that was what I grew up with, and I always wanted to kind of do better and better and better. And I think that hunger's just got better. Like, I think it's got bigger.
Like your appetite.
It's then it just gets like I want to go to the next level all the time.
So you got that control of your future, and then you can give back. Like all the stuff you do at Stellar, really giving back is like a key part of what you do.
It's wild.
You know, so the thing I like about it is it's not all just for you. It's not about like, you know, the cars, the holiday, whatever like that. It's you can choose not to do the things that are giving back and bringing people with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny story for you. I was chatting about this on the way in with Royston. We drove here in a Ford Transit van.
Oh, nice.
Right, and Royston's turned up with his Range Rover, and it's like, we need to sort out a car for you, pal. And I'm like, because my missus is now using my car because we've just had a baby and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, I actually don't care. I genuinely don't care. I'm kicking about a Transit. And by the way, when you go to Costco, it's really easy. Oh, imagine the stuff you can buy at Costco when you've got a van.
Like, get that hot tub in the back.
Yeah. I've also had to strap the doors shut because I've bought too much. But it's one of those things like, none of that it's really nice. I'm really humbled the fact I can buy cool things and do cool stuff, but the kind of sticking to your roots is key. And yeah, giving back's massive for us. Part of what we built in Stellar, and it's called Stellar Elevate now, which is all about being able to then provide a technical education for kids that are coming either out of school or maybe trying to decide whether they want to get a career in IT and looking to then give them a bit of work experience. That's what Elevate's all about. But Elevate wasn't created until about 2 years ago. But we've been doing Elevate since we started the company. We've been doing Elevate since even before starting Stellar. So provide an opportunity for people that you see a skill in and a hunger and a desire that want to again better themselves and really work hard. And that's the standard we set at Stellar. You've got to come in and you've got to work hard. That doesn't mean you work through the night and all that stuff. But it just means you've got to have that drive, that desire, that dynamo in you. Yeah,
and there's a balance, right? It's like, we don't expect people to work every night till midnight. At worst, there'll be a deadline at some point, and we expect you to drive to it, because that's what the whole success of the company depends on. And that drive is hard to hire for, but like when you find the right person, you keep them and you give them like a trajectory of promotions and more responsibility until they reach their point. But Like we're really similar in that respect, and those are the best people that work for you.
Aye. As the company evolves, you go through different phases, and I describe it as a big bus. People get on, people get off. The people that get you from maybe kind of 2 million to 10 million, people that get you from 20 to 50, it's different people. And that's not a bad thing. It's just finding the people that are going to support you on the journey that you're on. And things change. Like, your journey changes all the time. Like, you know what it's like when you're like bidding for work. Sometimes it's like London buses. Some of them, it's like there'll be nothing for 3-4 weeks, then 3 or 4 come on at the same time. That's the way it works. Yeah. And you can't hire for that. Like, you can't prepare for it. We can't afford, I'm assuming you'll be similar to me, you can't afford to have a bench of people sitting there ready to help you, and you also can't afford to then go and hire the kind of the high-end salaries that you maybe want to.
Yeah.
You've got to find that balance, and you've got to find the people that are part of that journey, part of that story, and you've got to sell it. I think this is where, though, you and I and Stellar and Clear Sky can do something really creative together, because if you can share that burden and you can share that weight, then actually you're going to be successful. Because it might be that I get a small efficiency on the basis that you need to consume some of our analysts. Maybe the reverse on us for development resource and some of the work we're looking at just now around front end, kind of accessibility and all that good stuff. All these things are like natural skills that together we become stronger. And I think it also then starts to then build a weight when you're looking at then some of these bids. So we've worked with a lot of big SIs before on the public sector bids, and because we're in the SME category, we become then a support framework for them. But what I quickly find is that it's probably not an SI we need to be working with in some of these bids. It's smaller other SMEs that together become way more competitive and way more stronger in the position than some of the big SIs. Yeah. And that's, I think, where genuinely between the two of us, we become pretty unique.
Yeah, and I think that's where you got to look at. One of the things we were talking about at the townhouse event last week was around. It sounds a bit, I think, called it Trumpetarian, but it was basically like a Scotland first, UK first, in terms of like the huge projects that are going on. Whether it doesn't need to be kind of public sector projects, it could be some of the huge multinational companies that are based here. But it's like that should be stuff that we can win. Like, we've got some of the best talent in the world here.
Aye.
Why are you giving that, well, offshore or to some other massive company? It can make a huge difference here and hire another 100 people. Yeah. You know, you just get a bit frustrated with it because it's
good subject, because I was awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year at the British Business Awards last year. Right? Well, thanks very much, Dan.
Did you get a medal or a trophy?
A big trophy. It sits in proud of place right in the middle of my telly. The quotes and the conversation from the Scottish Government and the First Minister, and specifically, were very much around the promotion of entrepreneurial spirit in Scotland, the support framework and structure that's put in place to really allow Stellar's, Clear Skies to build. I don't fucking see it, right? And it's not trying to be controversial about it, but I've sat around the table when there's been three providers, and I've also seen the scoring, and I've also then seen the outcome. And I'm not sure that there's much weighting towards Scottish companies. Now, I might just be better, right?
Yeah.
But I can't be wrong on everyone.
But I mean, it's a coincidence of bitterness then, because we've not had government support, which we don't want, right? We want to go out there and win it. And then my mentality is, I want to go and find businesses that have a huge problem that I feel like we can add a lot of value and fix it faster than anyone else, better quality than anyone else, right? So it doesn't lend me towards like a government world.
Yep.
At the same time, if they want to create that kind of hotbed of innovation companies like leading the way,
right,
it's very hard to go and do that on a global scale from just in East Rail here in Scotland, right? Like it's
yeah.
But I mean, we'll still do it. We'll do it anyway, right? But
we're going to crack on anyway. That's what I always say. I'm just going to do it regardless of what you want.
But it's more in spite of, right? Because I'm like, because now when if they talk to me about stuff, I'm like, yeah, I've never really, if I'm taking any money off you, it's like, it's been a total shit show anytime we've tried to get anything. What does help here in Scotland, and is so different from everywhere else, is like the business leader network, like that sort of stuff.
I
don't know if that's actually, I just meant like people in
No, I
Scotland.
totally agree with you. Because I actually met Sandy, the Scottish Financial Enterprise, a couple of months ago, December actually. Yeah. And that type of organisation, I'm not just name checking people on this, they're actually out to help.
100%.
And they're supporting and they're promoting. And it's all about how do you put Scotland back on the kind of the world stage. And there's also a local part to it as well. But those organisations are genuinely out there to help. Whereas I'm not convinced that all these other initiatives are. Again, we're very similar. We've not had one penny of help. It sticks in my throat actually quite a lot. So we shouldn't introduce alcohol in this conversation because honestly, the amount of grants, like we went for grants at the start. We went for a number of the kind of support frameworks, and we've not had one. Yeah. And I still laugh about it. This year we should tip the 100 million in Scotland over the last 8 years.
Oh wow, what an achievement, eh?
And I look at that and I go, so we just put 100 million through the Scottish revenue, and we've not had one bit of support. It's wild. And then I look and I see the companies that are winning, and again, some of them are also our suppliers and partners as well. But I look at some of the foreign companies that are supporting the kind of the government in a number of initiatives, and I just shake my head. It's just no good enough.
But in the trickle effect, the trickle down effect that is meant to work only works if the jobs stay here or in the UK, right? So it can make a difference to everyone. Yeah. If it goes offshore, obviously I'm going to say that, right? Because traditionally software development and big kind of bespoke platforms were built maybe offshore somewhere, and I'm obviously onshore, so I'm biased in this, right? I'm
a bit older than you then, because I remember when we used to do it in Dundas Street.
All right.
I was talking about this. We had the full development team in the Royal Bank in Fetties Row in Dundas Street, and there'll be a lot of old timers watch this and totally agree with me. It's probably the best time we had for banking. I mean, you didn't see any big critical failures. You didn't see any, licenses expired and somebody's forgot to pick it up. That didn't happen back then, right? The development and the engineering, as it's now called, was all done onshore. It was all done by Scottish and UK-based resources. All the data centres were hosted and managed on-prem, on-site, and it would be wrong to say nothing went wrong. Lots went wrong, but the support structure and the mentality and the behaviour and the investment that everybody had in the solution was there. Do you get that from big SIs in the kind of wider world? I'm not convinced.
Yeah, and that critical part of that, the problem solving, like being in a room, understanding the context of the landscape, that's what makes the difference for us. Like, so we're all permanent members of the team across Edinburgh and Glasgow. And there's nothing else.
I love that. That's the bit I love, because it's about building it in Scotland again. It's about having it based in Edinburgh. You can talk to the people you want to talk to. You can solve the problems in the room. Like, you can come into this room and just war room anything, and you'll find the answer. Yeah, you'll literally find the answer. It's not about 3 weeks of tickets going back and forward, and debating and discussing what's the rights and wrongs of the commercial agreement we've got in place. Just fix problems. Yeah, and you find that if you fix problems and you support your customer in winning, they're going to work with you
massively. The clients that we're most that we've done so well working with are exactly that. They're probably Scottish based. Yeah, some of those maybe UK, but it's getting into a boardroom with them and go, right, this is off track. Here's the reasons. Here's the options. Yeah. What do we do together to fix it?
Yeah, we'll find a way.
And we'll fix it. And then the team like that as well, we're pulling them in. We're not making it like a Darren's about to solve a problem. It's like, no, I need you to all come with me here. We've got some explaining to do. Aye. But that's the only way I've seen it work like really effectively. And obviously you get approached with loads of companies going to like offshore your stuff, like to wherever. And I'm like, it doesn't work. It's hard enough to make enterprise software where you're all in a room, all aligned. Yeah. Imagine being wherever you want to be. I think that's why remote working didn't work for me either. Like, there's obviously a cost thing there, where we save money, just not worth it. I hated it, just on a personal level, I hated it. I like being around people, I like getting to know people, I like working in teams. Like, I can't handle like working at home all the time. It's bad for my mental health.
I totally agree. This is where I genuinely think we're aligned in this. I very rarely sit in my house. Like, I'm always in the office. I also then have this mentality that I think a number of other people should be in the office as well, and COVID's ruined it. It's ruined their business. Nah, it's not. It's worked to our advantage, because I think the flexibility and agility that it gives you now and the tooling that it's supported with is brilliant. The challenge is then, how do you support mental health? How do you get the basic communications in place? How do you continue to build relationships with people when you're virtual? Yeah. It's really tough. Yeah. And there'll be 101 people who will tell us about all these different ways that you can do it and gamify it and all that stuff. Yeah. I actually don't believe it. Yeah. I think there's nothing better than having this team in the same place at the same time and building that relationship. And I actually joked with this on another podcast a couple of weeks ago about, I used to go to the pub and build these relationships. Even that's dying off. That's sad.
You join a run club. That's what you do.
Run club, aye.
Teams run together, stay together.
Aye, I'll be at the back, I'll be talking to nobody. Chuckling along at the back.
Yeah, and I guess it's a decision point as business leaders, right? I'm sure you could do a remote team and make it work if you want to invest in all that sort of stuff. But there's that choice. Like, I don't want to. Yeah. I've only got one chance to make a business work. Yeah. And from my one chance, I want everyone in the room.
Aye, it's a great principle. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So on a Saturday morning, right, when the laptop's shut, what are you getting excited about for the weekend? What's keeping you going at the weekend?
Well, it's usually either my son's football or kind of men's football. Saturday morning, actually, I started taking my laptop to the Orium, though. So my son trains up at the Orium. I started taking my laptop to the Orium, which is not a great idea.
Yeah.
I nearly got smacked in the face with a ball as well the other day. I'm sure one of the kids was taking a pot shot at me. I don't know, you'll be similar. You never switch off, though, do you?
It's hard, eh?
It's tough. But my release genuinely is going and standing watching like kids football. My wee boy plays for 2 teams, so we have a Saturday and a Sunday game. Sometimes a midweek game as well, and every other minute that could be used for travelling between the two. That's a release because you can then do something that you're engaged in, and it's a completely different mindset. Yeah. And then similarly, then when I go along to the Hearts games or whether I go travelling away, the kind of the hour and a half that you're travelling there, and then the game itself, it's just a switch off time.
Yeah.
The rest is really tough to switch off. And I talk about physical environment all the time. When you're going through kind of pressurised kind of times and challenging times and everything else, changing the physical environment's my release. So I do it. So I move into a different mindset or change my subject. And I've been called bipolar before for it. But it's genuinely about going somewhere else and doing something else.
Yeah. It's hard to get that, like the noise to die down. I find if you can focus on one thing, everything else still kind of die down a bit. But I just find that really hard. I stopped looking at emails after, like, say, mid-evening on a Friday.
Does it work?
So I moved the email in the Slack to like a folder on the last page of my iPhone. So if I'm going to look at it, I have to like
really,
actually physically go and do that.
That's a physical thing again. Then,
yeah, because it's like otherwise if it's on the front page, it's like I'll just dive into it. But what I was finding was even if nothing's wrong, I'm anticipating there's something that might be wrong, and then when something is wrong, there goes the weekend because I could be at the kids' football or out for dinner, but my mind's like somewhere else, eh? And that's kind of torture. So I've tried. I'm getting better at it, and also I took it running.
Do you need to though? Like I have this chat all the time. Do you need to change it? Like I
don't know. I think it goes back to that whole like, are you happy kind of thing?
Well, how long have we got?
Get the whiskey. I think you could be really, really successful in business and be bloody miserable.
Aye, I agree. But I think that's how you find another thing to play with then. Like I'm like talking about football clubs just now as well. I reckon I could.
So you're going to start another business?
Yeah, correct, exactly.
That's you don't focus on one thing.
And by the way, for the next 5 years, I'll be really happy with it. But it's about then that cycle. In 5 years, what do I do again?
Yeah.
Like I got to share at the start. We started a hotel business. Any advice to anybody? Don't do that. It's a really stupid idea. No, it's actually, if you know your subject and you're in hospitality, brilliant idea. Because I've also met really good people through it. I'm actually in the process of doing a deal just now, which I think will change the hotel landscape as well. And it's a combination of old and new. Hotel, hospitality industry, AI. Between physical location and then AI and some of the virtual technology stuff we can do, I think you'll hear about this in the next couple of months. It'll be mega, really mega. But part of that for a second, I've done that for a couple of times though, and built another business and built another business, built another business. None of them have been anywhere near as successful as Stellar, so it's also reminded me to focus on Stellar. But it means that you can then structure your thinking around an event you want to go and buy a football club, an event you want to go and like start a new football academy, an event you want to go and like, I don't know, property renovation. Yeah. You can go do it.
Yeah.
You can do what you want, right? That's if the freedom you've built makes you happy.
Yeah, that belief as well.
Aye, and belief, aye. Yeah, it's beliefs half of it.
Yeah.
Desire and belief. I was talking about this with about the Hearts team on Saturday night. It's most it's belief.
Yeah.
Most it's belief.
It's weird because it's in Ted Lasso, which is strange, but it all comes back to that, right? Like, what do you believe?
I'll tell Derek you've just called him Ted Lasso right after you.
Well, that's a compliment. But like, you know, you believed you could build a company the way you built it, and you've kept it going. You've got it bigger than, you know, I'm sure you would have thought at the beginning, right? And it's but you believe you can get to the next stage, and now you're going to win government tenders, all that sort of stuff. That's
manifest it.
It's built in you. Yeah?
Create the storyline before you start the journey. What do you want the storyline to say?
We're going to sponsor Hearts and going to win the league.
I've called
Is that
it.
A story?
I called it.
You did hard lifting here.
2023. I've called it. It'll be published soon. I called it. We're winning the league. Nobody believes me. I used to go to the. That's a belter. I used to go and drink with a few of the boys in Lucky's with the ultras, and I used to tell them we're winning the league. And honestly, they didn't believe me. If you ask me, Freddie, who used to run the ultras, he'll tell you that. I told them we're winning the league.
Nice.
And it wasn't because I knew the plan. I didn't know the Tory Boyne plan. Nobody did. I didn't know the Jamestown Analytics plan. I didn't know that at the time. But I knew what was being built, and I knew the work that had been put in across foundations. And you can manifest a lot. You can help that as well. We help with the community work. We help with the kind of front of shirt sponsor stuff. Andrew McKinley and I are actually talking at an event on Thursday night about the partnership we've built. It's not about a monetary transaction where you then send money over the fence and you never see the outcome of it. We were core to what we were doing was all about building with hearts, and it's not just through good luck that they are where they are.
Yeah, amazing, eh?
But manifest it. Write the storyline. What do you want the clear sky storyline to be in 2 years' time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time?
Yeah.
Right, you write it down.
Yeah.
Maybe put that in your graffiti.
Put that on the wall.
Rocket.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the sky, the rocket. The sky is the limit now, right? And it's been a total reset everything with AI coming along and what we're keen to learn and do. It's like, what limits are your idea and what you believe? I think
None.
There's just so much that can be done. I'm sitting there looking at different industries going, well, we can totally innovate banking. Like banking, all the manual work that we're doing, banking goes along, tiny margins. All the kind of automation, all the AI we can build in, the data we can tie it all together. You'll make a tech-sized profit in a bank now, and that'll make better rates for everyone. So then the economy gets faster, more lending easier.
Yeah.
But then you take that as a segment and go, well, that's possible. The other bleak side of it as well, like the education side of it. Now, I've never been involved in education, right? But I've got 2 wee boys, so like I'm biased over it. And my weeest boy kind of struggles with reading and writing, that sort of thing. In the last year, he moved to a smaller school and he gets a bit more help. But then I'm thinking, well, actually, AI, you could just have a full-time tutor,
virtual teacher,
understand you instantly, how you like to learn, what you don't like, what you do like, make it fun, like to be totally visible to you for every single student. And then what happens? It's like, but those things as possible. Then you like healthcare. So there's, I'm excited by all that side of things, but I'm also like frustrated with that.
Yeah. Why are you not doing faster?
How do we get moving on that, move on this? And then it's like the collaboration side is a bit where we can make things go a bit faster. Right. So we've got a really key client in finance. So we're leaning into that relationship heavy and going, look, here's everything we see that we can now do. We'll just partner with you because I don't know how to run a bank, but you guys do, but I know how to make the innovation work. So like we come together. Same for like other things, like the stuff we're talking about.
I honestly totally agree with you on the whole AI thing. There's just so much opportunity. We've set up a new product. It's called Aurora. You'll probably hear about it and see about it soon. It's all to do with AI and test. And we're going to get to 100 customers in the next 3 months. And when I set that target, nobody will leave me. I've got actually 124 now, all ready to rock. Nice. And I now can't get the product there fast enough. I'm like, oh shit. But we will get to the door though, and it might not be 124 convert all this year, but get 124 of them through the door was my mission number one. I've engaged with everybody. The answer I'm going to get them is going to be a win for us, a win for them, and a win for everything they do in the future. So you can go back to that, why wouldn't you do it? Yeah. So I'm like absolutely buzzing about it. But it's hard because there's so much stuff going on in the kind of proof of concept, and we're skunkworks in this and we're skunkworks in that. You kind of just got to bite the bullet and go with something that's there. Yeah. And I think we've found a really niche piece where we believe we can change the world. And people talk about, what's the secret sauce? Somebody else will come and replicate it. Good luck, charge on, crack on. Yeah. Like I'm not going to stop you. You want to be competitive with us, we'll be competitive. And it's about though, this is my bread and butter. Yeah. I've been doing this since 16 years old, right? Yeah. Like if somebody thinks that they can do it better than me, then fucking charge on, right? I'm happy to have a debate with them about it. And I'm also happy to then kind of have the kind of the go-to-market. It's not a SaaS anymore. It's not like infrastructure as a service now. This is like, and it's an overused term, everything as a service. Mm-hmm. We're going to deliver testing through an AI lens that's going to be better than everybody else. Yeah, I can guarantee it. Yeah. Can again manifest that.
And what happens to the industries that adopt that and now have superior, high-quality software processes? Yeah, and there's the knock-on effect.
It's going to change their world. It's going to change our world. It's going to be amazing for everybody.
So I got a couple ones here. So Sir Alex Ferguson, the standard, the resilience, right?
Aye.
What things have gone wrong, and how did you keep going?
Resilience, aye. It's a subject that's favourite. We've had like all the growing pains that you're ever going to have as a small tech company, and we still have growing pains now. Royce and I were actually chatting this the other night. You just have different problems. The kind of bigger you get, and the more diverse you get, and the different customers you get, you just get the same problems but on a different scale. So at one point our problem was go chase after all these sales things, get the pipeline widened, get the kind of conversion rate up. Now that we've sussed that one, I was like, how do we deliver them all at the same time? So you go from one problem to another, but that's not going to change. So when we were starting the company, we had challenges around cash flow. How do you pay the salaries at the end of every month? You've committed to a lot of these things. Some of the kind of customers are only paying you in 90 days. they're just growing pains that when you get enough cash in the bank, you can start to then churn more, you can do more. I never let any of them stop me though. They were just problems you had to solve. And we've obviously built a really strong team at Stellar with the finance department, the kind of the delivery capability we've got. We've changed that on the way as well. And what were problems in 2020, 2021, they're no longer problems, but they've just got new problems. So you got to face into it. It's never perfect.
You got any kind of like big white whale problems that you've always maybe it's just not been your strength in the business that's kind of stayed you all these years? I mean, for me, like commercial teams, like I'm really I'm shit at commercial.
I was going to ask you about that actually.
But I didn't come from that world. Like I don't know nothing about it. I build software and solve problems. Like I don't like commercials like hard. And then I'm almost enemy sometimes. I'll be like really excited about getting a project done and being like, this is so clear we could do this. Right, okay, it's going to take 3 months, get the contract in, and you're like 6 months later, like, yeah, I should take more time on that. But
I don't know. I think you've got the right approach.
Right.
And nobody grew up. Well, sorry, I didn't grow up knowing about commercial either. You kind of work it on the way.
Yeah.
And you the problem is you've got to adopt or you've got to adapt based on what your customer wants all the time. And unfortunately, some people don't see through the same lenses like you and I will see it. For us, we've probably already made a decision about whether we're wanting to win this or not. Nobody else, I don't think, can make that decision. Again, I'm kind of always people in our organisation are trying to force us into a process or a decision-making tree that's then kind of known and understood. I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
I think as a founder and the kind of the MD, you've got to be that guy.
Yeah.
You've got to come up with the right answer for what you want to do and what your customer needs.
Yeah.
So I sympathise on the commercial one, I sympathise on the sales, I sympathise on anything that's like business development.
Yeah.
But you've also got to remember, nobody's going to sell the services better than you.
Yeah.
I used to try. I failed a couple of times when I was trying to bring somebody in that was going to be able to talk about Stellar better than me. It's never going to happen.
It don't exist.
Like Clear Sky will be the same. Yeah. You're going to talk better about Clear Sky than anybody else.
Yeah.
I also tried to hire an entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur, I think we called them in the end.
Wow.
Which is all about, can you find somebody that's got the same spark and the same desire, the same belief behaviours, and then get them to kind of build Stellar with you? And that didn't work.
Then the spin out projects where you're like, I'll get someone like me to go run that, and then we can double up, and then
some people say to me, just find somebody to backfill you, Colin. It's really easy. I'm like, I said, fuck, it's really hard.
Good luck with that.
But it's about mindset and behaviour again.
Yeah.
Like hard work. Like it's back to the ceramics thing actually.
Yeah.
Hard work's a skill.
Yeah.
And you got to learn. It feels quite hard at times when you're thinking, are you just giving somebody else another learning curve? But if they learn and they become part of the fabric and they become part of the furniture in your company, then you've been successful in building that.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
I think one of the rarest skills I've seen, something that I believe I'm good at now, making a clear plan under pressure. Like, when like the world's falling in business.
Incident management.
Yeah, and like in the team, at times, what's the path like? We go for a few days off site, have a think about it, and I go, like, we need to do 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
Yeah, I've got the answer.
And then we can figure out the rest after that.
Yeah.
But if we don't do 1, 2, and 3, we ain't no be or no.
Yeah. That's a cutthroat thing though. But for the mindset for individuals that are in that position, they've not got the same pressure you and I have around the company may not be here in a month. Now, thankfully, that's probably not a scenario that we need to face into it. Yeah. But we did face into it.
Oh yeah.
When you had one customer and you were kind of really dependent on that being successful, and you needed to get the next one and the next one, it was all about that kind of like, it's your problem, like your personal problem. And it's subject actually was reflecting on the other night about the kind of Brewdog scenario. Like, how many people have lost their job through that? Disaster. It's an absolute disaster. But that at some point that organisation stopped caring about the people. And one of the things that's kind of stuck with me since I started the company is you've got to take everybody on the journey with you. And as I said earlier on, it's a bus, people get on, people get off. That's fine. But everybody's got to be invested in that desire and that direction and kind of answer. Now, I'm similar to you, actually. I come up with the answer before everybody's even considered that they need a meeting about it. And that's even harder because you can't dictate. You got to go through the cycle of helping everybody through getting to the same answer as you. And sometimes you change your mind on the way. Yeah. I've also changed my mind on maybe not point 1 and 2, but maybe 3 can be changed. Yeah. That's okay.
It's hard to explain that sometimes to the team. When they go, well, we thought we had a plan. And I go, well, yeah, we did have a plan, but the landscape changed. That client moved there. This collaboration happened. It's busier there. No one's busy there.
Draw it on the wall, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
That's why I like my whiteboards though.
Yeah, oh.
Because I just sit and just draw it.
Love a whiteboard.
And the good news is nobody can usually read my writing, so the day after I've forgotten what it says.
I'm saying that's why typing was invented.
Exactly, aye. But I've got a really simple brain that's quite kind of picture based.
Yeah.
I just draw pictures. Like I describe our sales channel as just a big funnel with a Kanban of go from left to right.
Yeah.
It's really simple. I don't need to know exactly what I'm selling to exactly that customer. I just need to know what we're trying to position ourselves in. I need to know the people we're talking to. I need to know the value. I need to know whether they've got decision-making skills. I just need to know the simple things. Life's pretty basic.
Yeah, I got tips on that recently for public speaking where I'm really bad at it. Like, I make Elon Musk look good with the stumbling through it. But I was trying to remember like paragraphs and words, and like, apparently that's not how your brain works.
No.
Like, you've got to think of a picture and just describe the picture.
Yeah.
And the way they got it to me was, you know, did you tell your son bedtime stories at night when he was wee? And you're like, oh yeah. And I was like, was it really intricate and detailed? I'm like, oh, you bet it was. It was like Transformers here and all that sort of stuff. And he's like, did you ever write any of it down? I'm like, no. It's like you thought in pictures.
Correct.
Just think of the picture in your head and just describe it to people.
Yeah.
And that really helped me unlock in my head and go, oh, I do think like that. I don't think the other way.
So have you been scored since you've done that?
No, not yet. So
I'll come along and give you a score out of 10.
oh God.
I'm very similar though. We used to sit down on a Friday morning before we done our huddle, as it was called, and they used to go through a script to me, and I used to get the script wrong consistently. Like I don't follow any scripts, and it's even when we went to where did I go last week? Oh, I'm in a tech event. I was like going through this script, and actually like lost my own train of thought. So I just chucked it in the bin and just went with my gut again.
Wow.
And it's back to that. You believe it, you see it, you manifest it. It's that scenario.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that kind of imagination type thing, but it's exactly how I do it.
Yeah. It's just to stop that when you go up there and know how your mind like empties entirely. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Whereas I get different people have different ways to deliver messages like that. That'll be it's your personal preference again.
Yeah. So next one, scaling one of Scotland's fastest growing tech firms. What's the plan next? What's the next North Star? What are you going to try and hit?
100 million's been our North Star for about 3 years now as well. Cool. It's part of the journey that we're on with our board, and it's part of our journey we're on with all our staff, is we're aiming for that 100. Now, why is it not 200? Why is it not 50? No idea. But 100 sounded good. Yeah, I mean, and it's like 4-5 times where we are just now.
Right.
So I've genuinely got a belief that we'll get to that 100 million in the near future, and it's not about when, it's about kind of like how, and every day it's about what we're doing towards that. And this is why I get quite frustrated by some of the kind of limitless conversations on random subjects. If it's not making the boat go faster, as I say, why are we talking about it?
Yeah, I get frustrated.
Yeah.
We see all the opportunity out there and everyone wants to talk about challenges.
We're going to, like, Aurora's going to take us to 100 million, no bother though. So we're going to get to that no problem at all. And I can see a direction that actually we're debating how do we get to the next 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 100. It's just a question about when.
Yeah.
So positive for it.
Inevitable, right?
Yes. I genuinely believe we can do anything. As I said earlier on, we're on this earth to do whatever we want to do, in whatever way we want to do it. Yeah. And you make your own path and you drive as hard as you can and again work hard.
Yeah. It almost doesn't matter like where you came from, what you did. I mean, you were sitting in Biggar, I was sitting in West Calder.
Yeah, there you go.
No one believes what we've done.
No.
Most of my family aren't on LinkedIn, right? So they don't really know what's going on.
Similar.
You go to kind of family meetups and you're like, is that you? Are you doing that? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we didn't think you'd be that kind of person. I'm like, yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Like, you can do anything you want. The whole thing is it's an illusion.
That's a skill in its own right though, because I get exactly the same chat. Like, is that really you? I'm like, yeah, of course that's me. Yeah. You think it's a figment of your imagination. Yeah.
You must have it so easy, and like, you've no idea. You have no idea the worries in my head when you are like, you can just turn off. Like, you've left work at 5, great, good for you. Yeah. Hey, I've got payroll, that. What's happened to this customer? What's happened to this customer? What's happening in commercial?
Oh, the list is endless.
Oh, no.
I talk about being the general gopher or dog's body in Stellar. It's because every thought's going through my head, usually at the same time. Yeah. And it's about, you've got that added pressure. Everybody just sees the end product. They don't see how you got there. Somebody was accusing me of being rich the other day. Although, just for the record, I'm probably the least rich person here. It's like, if you're counting money as being rich, then you've got a problem. Yeah. Being rich is back to that happiness, and how do you get to that point where you're actually comfortable with what you want to be doing in life? Mm. And my comfort is working, right? That's hard for people to digest. Yeah. I've actually had active arguments about it. It's a very selfish way of thinking about it. It's It might be selfish for you, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's really fucking hard.
So what you got to do to make it work as well, right?
Aye.
Everyone else, if everyone's working hard around you, you're not going to be able to keep up. Okay, so you had a massive year. You won the Entrepreneur of the Year, the record growth, right? What's the one thing that you failed at recently and it's taught you something new?
Anything at all?
Give me anything.
Well, I failed it. We've had a good start to the year, so it's probably not this year. We've probably failed to, and this is a we as a company, have failed to actually keep the momentum up that we need to keep up at all times. And I think that's mostly on me around how fast did we build the capability we need to keep growing. And that's like, again, another growing pain as I would describe it. So how do you continually invest in the additional resources that you'll need around the table to get you to that next level. And again, probably failed to keep up with that momentum of getting people through the door. I mean, been through 3 or 4 cycles of management teams. And again, it's about, there'll be another 3 or 4 as we go as well. Yeah. It will change everything changes as you move forward. Different people will join, different people will help. And again, it's about maybe failing to keep up with that momentum. The good news is we've overcome that, because that was a kind of probably middle to kind of end the Q3 last year. The movement and changes we've made have been absolutely beneficial. You can start to see them.
Was that new ways of working, new people come in? What gave you the energy that kind of spark?
What's the energy from new people coming in?
Yeah.
New people coming in remind you of all the good stuff you can do as a company. And probably, I know that we'll try and stick on one, but my second one's probably more around not coming off client and coming out to work myself.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty hands-on.
Yeah.
Like, I want to touch everything. I want to be involved in every single thing that's going on. And removing yourself from that, just a layer, or maybe 2 layers. Probably didn't do that fast enough, because we can absolutely see the benefit of me doing it now.
So you're there now, you managed to?
Aye, we're there. So working in the business, working on the business, I talk about. So working in the business is great, because you're part of the troops, you're part of the team, you're part of the drive. But then working on the business in terms of where you need to be kind of positioning yourself. And that's not about the kind of wanky conversations about positioning yourself in the market and all that. That's got zero relevance to me. It's about where do you want to be as a company and how do you get there? And it takes a bit of a step out to be working on the business rather than in the business, which is the best way that I kind of talk about it. And you need to change that percentage from 100% in the business to kind of 50% each way, or then some days you're 100% on the business.
What gave you the discipline to do that? Because that's the hardest thing, right?
I had to teach myself.
Yeah.
I had to teach myself that, because it's my natural desire to get in the trenches and kind of fix things.
Yeah, let's fix this.
Yeah, exactly.
Every problem's mine.
It's the best way to do it. No, you sound like you've done exactly the same though. It's like you want to be in the detail, you want to be fixing it. Yeah. If there's a problem, you don't want to be handing it off to somebody, you want to be right at the front.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of leadership as well though, having the ability to go in and do that. And be able to then move the dial yourself. You don't always need to do that. Yeah. You can allow other people to get there at the same time, and it's beneficial that you allow other people to take the lead on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they own it, and yeah, they make better decisions.
It's really hard though. Don't get me wrong. It's a really tough subject trying to get somebody else to do your job.
It's when you're in, you see like things go right loads of the time when that happens. Sometimes things still go wrong, right? And you're like, yeah, what did I miss? What did I tell you about? Like, and it's always something. I've got my latest incarnation of the leadership team now, and finally I can.
What version are you on? Because it's the same age, you're 7
4 or
years
5.
7 years.
We just turned 8. We're 20.
You're 8 as well, I'm 8 this year, 8 in September.
Oh well, happy 8th.
Thanks very much.
We
could have joined party.
Play the same book. That'd be good. We play the same football team. Yeah, quite a few. I've had it at times where I've had it more like just one other person trying to help run the business. I had my business partner I started Clear Sky with. I brought in really experienced people that tried to make it like a corporate business, and that didn't work for my decision-making skills or communication skills at the time. So I'm a lot through, but this is the closest I've ever found to making it work. I brought in like the EOS framework. I don't have the entrepreneurial operating system, so it means we can still make decisions and fix things quickly, but I'm kind of offload some of that to the team. So it's as close as I've ever seen it to working now.
Good. I think that's good though, as long as it's heading in the right direction. I'm never sure it's ever perfect, for the record.
I think what you were saying earlier about that belief of, well, it's just always going to be you. Like for Stellars, you're the guy. Like you're going to be the guy in the room that no one sells better than you, no one can do the visions or communicate better than you. I think for me, I had to work on my confidence after a while, because for a while I thought I wasn't the guy. Ooh. So the business got like bigger, and then you go and hire people that you think will be better than you at these sort of things. Yeah. And like, I think things were tough anyway in life during that time. I just kind of lost my confidence for a while and really stepped back, and that was like the worst thing possible for the business. But yeah.
That's a tough one, aye.
Yeah.
I mean, confidence has probably never been my problem in Stellar. It was when I was younger, and I probably built that up. But I think you've just got to be quite like normal. Just think about things in a basic way. So nobody's going to get it right, and some days you're not going to get things perfect. You just got to kind of move on from it. But that's a tricky one with the confidence thing. Where are you now then? Are you kind of fully functioning?
Well, I worked with like a mind coach, super real guy, sort of
Very good, aye.
for about 6 months last year, changing my life. Like inside work, outside work, totally changing my life. The way you think about things, the way you like pull apart problems in your head. Like I'd just be full on problem solving with like whirring out of control. And it's fine, right? But it's not a life to live. So just give me some tools kind of deal with it. It sounds fluffy. Some of it sounds fluffy, but see the difference in your life. Unbelievable. And now I've got clear sky. I focus on that better than I've ever been with that. I'm doing the boys football coaching, like I'm running. I feel like I've got my spark back. So.
Beer usually does that for me. Have a beer, have a red wine. I don't actually like red wine. I don't even know why I drink it.
Yeah.
But the whole, that's interesting though, because it's about that release and about that kind of how do you put another perspective on it, because your son's football is probably the number one priority in your life. And you just probably don't realise it. And sometimes you've got that work drag, it's always in your head, it's always there.
Yeah.
But if you've got something that then takes that away, it's a benefit of like doing football training.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just a bit of respite, isn't it?
Right.
But yeah, I found that helped. A better balance.
What would you suggest though you do with that kind of like management team iteration thing? I don't think it ever finishes. I genuinely don't.
Yeah.
So like some of the things, and I'll be honest, like some of the things like Emily says to me and says then goes public and tells people on LinkedIn, I sit wincing at like, Jesus Christ. And but I think to myself, actually, do you know what? I wouldn't do that. I have a chat with some of the guys in the team, they wouldn't do it. But that's because it's a different skill set, and you've got to look into the corners of the skill set that you don't have personally to find other people to fit those things in. And it's actually a really, really good kind of relationship we've built with myself, Emily, with Emily, Stellar, kind of me, about how do we kind of keep on challenging ourselves about what we need to do. And by the way, we'll not get it right every time, but we just keep on finding different ways to then kind of build the capability and management team around it.
Yeah.
Like if you hire everybody the same as you're in problems.
Yeah. If Stellar disappeared tomorrow, what would be the one thing you want to be remembered for in the business community?
Oh, just doing the impossible. Like we believed that what we were doing was impossible. A lot of people would have doubted us at the start. We've made a dent. We've built something unique. We've built something really cool. We've had fun on the way. Like we always try and make sure everybody has fun. What's the one thing we'd want to be remembered for? Just being those guys. Those guys that made it, done well. I genuinely want to make a difference, and I'm nowhere near finished in this, with the tech system in Scotland. And that's right back to schools. So the work we do elevating the changing the lives of people that come through the kind of school structure and university structure and college structure. I want to be seen as changing that curriculum. I was at the school, my son, when he was first getting kind of inducted into the school, and the technology skills that they were teaching was basic stuff that I was getting taught 20 years ago. So being able to really influence a change and make Scotland great again, and being able to then build from all the great hard work and innovation that we've already got to make Scotland great from our technology skills, that's the one thing I would like to be remembered for. And we've only just started scratching the surface in it. We're now rolling out our digital education programme to 1 million kids across the UK with NatWest Thrive. We're also then continuing to then drive our new cohorts of Elevate candidates and students into Stellar, whether it's automation, test development, AI now. We've got an ability to really change the way that things are done in that kind of level, and change the skills that are brought into Scotland, and do it under our own funding model. Like, nobody's giving us grants for this stuff. We're doing it ourselves. We're voting our feet. And that's the one thing that it's a 20-year, 30-year play. We're not going to give up till we've done it.
Yeah.
And even if Stellar dropped tomorrow, I'd still be the guy championing it all. It would genuinely be my life's ambition to make that different.
Wow. That belief really comes true, man.
Aye.
I know.
It's not actually that hard either.
Yeah.
Just creating enough time and belief again. Like, I'm not sure that teachers see it. I'm not sure that the school curriculum sees it. I'm not sure the UK sees it. I'm not sure anybody in Scotland sees it. They can all probably talk about the digital skills gap and the problem and everything else. Do something about it then. Which is why I think we can make a real dent in that and make a real difference. And if we can change the way that skills are now built in Scotland, delivered in Scotland, and been other, like selecting Scottish providers of tech rather than Indian outsourced models, we would be successful. That'd be my one thing I'd want to leave us with.
There you go. What a way to finish it. Just a massive thanks for coming on the podcast. I'm so impressed.
A massive thank
also,
you.
like kindred spirits, like massive well done whatever you've done. Happy 8th birthday when it comes up.
It's absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
I think genuinely between Stellar and Clear Sky we can do some quite cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Cheers, Colin. Thanks.
Thank you.